Okay. Let's see if it's
Are
work.
Are you coming to cheer?
Yeah, that gum's gonna get really annoying with me. W's in the
Wait.
chat. L's in the chat for chewing gum in the mic.
I don't know where to put it now.
Oh,
Chat.
What? No.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah.
Oh. Tell me off a piece of that March Madness bracket for my gum.
Oh, what a carry.
Oh, wow. That's really nice. Wait.
Get that in the mic.
Much better. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning Podcast. I'm Andrew, here with Ben once again. JJ obviously not here on his honeymoon. Congratulations, JJ. Ben, how's it feel to get a guy out of the house? I've heard you had your own room for the first time ever.
Well, not yet.
Aw.
Because we're remodeling some things.
Fair, okay.
So he has not moved out yet. And I'm counting down the days until he does. But, you know, we miss JJ. We do.
Do you? Do you actually?
We don't miss his,
presence.
His presence, but he is a kind soul occasionally. So
Well,
we do miss him a little bit.
Kind words from the brother out here.
Yeah, you know, and we bond over sports.
Obviously.
Sam likes sports, but not near as much as JJ. So
Sam's a basketball guy, right?
yeah, but even then, he doesn't watch a lot of basketball, so he enjoys reading. Nerd.
According to my calculations, basketball is going.
Just kidding. We almost
Sorry,
got
we
Sam
love
on
you,
the pod today.
We tried.
We tried to get Sam, tried to get Daryl. I don't know why Daryl didn't want to.
Daryl had a bunch of stuff tonight.
Daryl's busy. Sam is just being a nerd.
Being a nerd. Busy at home reading a book, probably.
Yeah. So that's okay. No, but we're here and we're recording. Obviously, JJ in his vacation spot. Guys, on the pod, W's in the chat for Jameis Winston. This is insane.
Guys, listen to this.
This is insane. JJ, we didn't hear from JJ for like the first 2 days at his vacation, or it's like the first day, which is perfect. We expected that. And then the first text we get in the group chat is, guys, you'll never guess what's happening. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe like he's, you know, they're swimming with dolphins or something. I don't know. Something random. Who knows?
It was something random.
Something random it was. I said something along the lines of, I think a basketball game was going on right now. I was like, man, this game is crazy. And then he's like, I just met Jameis Winston. And
Jameis. Why do you keep saying Jameis? It's Jameis.
Jameis. I saw Jameis Winston, and he sends a selfie with him with Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston.
And first thing I'm like, this has got to be AI. Because it genuinely looks like an AI picture.
Yeah, it does.
But then he tells us about the conversation and how they
we have to put the picture up on the pod for you guys to see.
we can do
put
that.
it up on YouTube.
Shout out to Jameis. So apparently
Jameis.
Jameis was checking out as JJ was checking in or something along the lines of that. Insane. Yeah. So JJ got to meet Jameis on his honeymoon. He says it's the best thing that's happened to him this week. We know that's not right, but yeah.
You know what? Yeah. I mean, you met Jameis Winston. It's got to be one of the best things that happened to him this week.
The horse is prepared for battle.
Yeah.
And the victory belongs to the Lord. Shout out Jameis.
So that's one reason to watch the YouTube on this episode. Another reason is Ben's outfit.
Guys.
He's got an incredible 31 and OH for Miami, Ohio. He's got a basketball hat on. Ben is jazzed up for this episode. This is the most excited I think he's been for anything ever. I've never seen Ben actually dress up, and now he's going wild right now.
I try to wear sports-related stuff.
Right.
Every episode. Doesn't always happen. But this episode, guys.
He's gone all out.
It's huge.
He's got 2 March Madness brackets sitting beside him. He's so excited.
You know, I usually am, but this year is extra because I have you guys.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But first, before we get to that, we will start with the number 3 thing, which is golf. We'll talk a little bit about the players that happened this past weekend. Like I said last week, one of my favorite tournaments to watch. I try to watch as much as I can. I was able to watch a lot of it. But your champion of the players is Cameron Young. Cameron Young had an incredible tournament, shooting 4 under in the final round. It was a lot of, it felt like on Sunday, a lot of retaining. Yeah, you shot 4 under, which is a solid round, but a lot of bigger scores middle of the week. The beginning of the week, the weather wasn't great. Sunday, it was very windy, and weather wasn't incredible. But Cameron Young being able to pull this out was awesome. Ludwig Oberg is JJ's guy. I wish he was here because JJ loves Oberg. He led most of the tournament. I believe he had a 3-shot lead going into Sunday. I believe he was at 14 under. He had a terrible day. I think he shot 2 or 3 over, but was not able to hold on there in the end. Just want to talk about a little bit about the tournament, how Young did it. He kind of came back because of that Oberg fall apart. So it was basically him and Matt Fitzpatrick that were 2 guys coming down the stretch. Fitzpatrick took the lead. I believe he took the lead on like 14 or something, and then Cameron Young coming down the stretch, coming on to 17, trailing Fitzpatrick by 1. So he's trailing Fitzpatrick by 1. They were playing together as well, which is always really fun to see the two leaders playing together coming down the stretch. But Fitzpatrick hit like a very, very safe shot because he was up, he was at 13 under at the time, and Young was at 12 going into 17. So Fitzpatrick's like, hey, I have one shot lead going in 17. I got you have to have par on 17. And he had a very, very conservative shot, kind of like it was that back right pin location on 17 there at TPC Sawgrass. And he had a very, very conservative shot from Fitzpatrick. And then Cameron Young steps up and hits just a dart into 17. I believe it was about 8 feet from the cup. Landed it on kind of the back slope, rolled it down there to about 8 feet. And obviously Fitzpatrick 2 putts, gets to the par, and Young birdies 17 to set up. They were tied going into 18 at both 13 under. Before we're going, did you watch any of this tournament? Do you have anything to say, Ben, before I
watched a little bit on Saturday. Not much. Because on what I had, it was only the Roy McIlroy special, and he was doing horrible, so I didn't watch much.
Yeah, fair enough. So I'll just keep going along with this. And then, tied up going into 18. 18 all weekend had been very, very tough for everybody. There was a lot of bogeys on 18. The course in general, 14, I don't know how many bogeys were. I should find out. I'm not even sure what it looked like. If you can look it up, it would be great. But 14, how many bogeys were on 14 and 18 was kind of crazy throughout the weekend. There was a lot of bogeys on those 2 holes. So going into 18, it's still anybody's match. It's 13 under. Probably both going to par. They're both going to play conservative. And then Cameron Young steps up to 18. There was wind behind it, but Cameron Young hits a 375-yard drive on 18. It is the longest ever recorded drive on hole 18 at TPC Sawgrass. Absolutely pounded, he drew it over the water. Just a beautiful shot that set him up. Fitzpatrick comes up and pushes one right into the tree, so he's playing from behind already. Get to your second shot. Fitzpatrick has to lay up. Cameron Young goes for it. I think he was he ended up a little bit long just behind the hole, and Fitzpatrick is chipping and chips it long as well. But inside of Cameron Young, so he was going to have a putt at par to possibly send this one into a playoff. Cameron Young, his second shot after that incredible drive, his approach shot was a little bit long. Just off the green to the back, not a bad putt at it down the hill. He putts it, just missed it. So Fitzpatrick comes out with a chance to send it to a playoff and steps up to the shot and just misses to the right. And that is it. Cameron Young was able to finish it off and no playoff hole. Just an incredible, just couple last holes from Cameron Young from that birdie on 17, that drive on 18. Just an incredible. I love Cameron Young. It was really fun to see all the fans out there, because those Fitzpatrick who's European and Cameron Young who's American, and just chanting USA. The crowd was very, very heavily Cameron Young. When he made that putt on 17, everybody went crazy and clearly cheering for Cameron Young. I think after that 17, they were all chanting USA. So that was interesting to see too. I had a buddy that was there. Shout out Matt Byler. I wanted to go, wasn't able to. I need to talk to him and see how it was, but just an incredible tournament. It was so much fun. You got how many bogeys were on? Did you figure that out? I
can't really find it.
There's just a lot.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure there's an app or something that can show it. But.
Yeah. So your top 5, I don't know how to say it. I'm just going top 4. There's a bunch of guys tied at 900 at tied for 5th. But so Cameron Young won, Fitzpatrick was 2nd, Xander Schauffele finished in 3rd at 11 under, and then Robert McIntyre finished in 4th at 10 under. Again, very good tournament, very fun to watch, and just one of my favorite tournaments of the year. Not a whole lot else to say about that. You got anything else to say about golf there?
No.
All right. So yeah, just a little tidbit of golf. Not a whole lot to say about that one. Moving on to our number 2 thing, it was the World Baseball Classic. Ben, please tell me you watched this.
Of course.
Okay, Ben, tell me a little about World Baseball Classic. What you saw coming out? So I think last time we left off, were prepared to play Italy, and I think I left us we'll be 4-0 and we're moving on. We ended up losing to Italy, and Italy ended up being a very, very good team.
Yes. Italy, thankfully, then once we lost to Italy, we needed them to win by 4 or more runs.
Yes, correct.
Essentially.
Correct.
They did. They won by a lot more than that, thankfully. So that was good. That's besides the point. So we did get it into the playoffs. We were on the opposite side of Italy and Japan, but we were on the side of Dominican Republic, and I was scared of them. I told you on Sunday, I'm like, dude, we're going to lose to them. Thankfully, we did not. So how was it? We won the first game.
So we made it to quarters after Italy won that. We beat Canada 5-3. This entire tournament, it'll come up more later, but our offense was kind of sputtering.
Yeah.
We beat Canada 5-3 with an okay game, had a couple hits. The only games we really scored well was against Great Britain and Brazil, which is bad pitching staff. So we beat Mexico 5-3. And obviously we put up 6 against Italy, but they're all late against a lot of their relievers.
Yeah, and
it just set us up for, I guess, failure along the way.
Yeah, knowing how bad our offense was playing, I told you, I'm like, man, if Skeens doesn't pitch like 75 plus or like to the pitch limit, we're gonna have trouble with Dominican.
Yeah,
and we did.
Yeah, we'll set up that game a little bit. Well, first of all, I want to talk about the other side. In the quarterfinals, Venezuela did beat Japan. She's like, dude, Japan is out. Like, we want to have a repeat, which is surprising. Venezuela kind of dominated them. And then Italy beat Puerto Rico, which Italy being in a semifinal was kind of insane in itself. And then, so that brings us to a semifinal of, like Ben said, USA versus Dominican, and then Venezuela versus Italy. I'll talk a little bit about the Venezuela-Italy game first. Italy, I believe, put up 2 runs in the first inning, go up 2-0 to the first or second inning. And then after that, they didn't really get a whole lot going. That's all the runs they would score. And Venezuela was able to come back, score a couple runs in the 7th inning, and the last 2 innings, not a whole lot happened. And Venezuela moved on to the final. And then on the other side, the USA versus the Dominican Republic. This game was the complete opposite of what I thought this game was going to be. Like, going into this game, you see both lineups. Like, the only caveat to this, both offenses are absolutely insane. Like, the Dominicans' lineup is probably the best lineup we have ever seen in any type of game, in any series. We're going to have to score a ton of runs to win this game. You knew, like Ben said, Paul Skeens was on the mound. That was the caveat. But there is pitch limits in the World Baseball Classic. So you figure, once Paul Skeens is out of this game, you'll definitely see some scoring. And the only run the Dominican would score was against Paul Skeens. Junior Caminero, with 2 outs on a 1-2 count in the second inning, hit a solo home run to put the DR up 1-0, and that is the only run they would score. Going back to the USA's hitting woes a little bit, we did win 2-1, but both runs came on solo home runs by Gunnar Henderson and Roman Anthony. Roman Anthony is a great young player. If you guys don't know the name Roman Anthony, you guys will know the name Roman Anthony in the next couple of years. He is an absolute stud for the Boston Red Sox. But our bullpen did pitch really well after Skeens. Skeens pitched 4 1/3, only allowing that 1 run, and then our bullpen was able to hold down. A lot of chances for the DR that that they squandered. We'll talk about that last play appearance here in a little bit. But I just want to get Ben your perspective on it. Just how the USA looked going into and coming out of this game.
I think first couple innings up to the 4th inning when we hit those home runs, we're like, all right, well, pitching is going well. We're getting them out. Well, they're leaving some on base. This is good. We hit the 2 home runs. We're like, all right, great. And Skeens was pitching well. And then I felt like once Skeens came out, it's like every inning they're just so close to a 3-run or a grand slam. And it was just, I was on the edge of my seat. On the bags. So much. They're on base. What was it? They left 8 guys on base throughout the game. Like I said, so I felt like we were just holding on by a string the entire time. And then who was it? Juan Soto, I think it was. Is that correct? He was on the plate with 2 guys on base. They bring in what's his name, and he just
Tyler Rogers. They brought in Tyler Rogers, got him to the ground in double play. So I feel a lot of that. It was the USA struck out 15 times in this game. Yeah. This was a theme for the tournament for the USA, striking out. For sure, after the pool play rounds in the quarterfinal, for sure the semifinal and the final, striking out 15 times against the Dominican squad is not good. It had 7 hits, but they were very, very spread out. Witt had 1, Harper had 1, Judge had 1, Schwarber 1, Henderson 1. There was nobody with multiple hits, which is very, very scary when you're a team like the U.S. and you're expected to put up a ton of runs and have a ton of traffic. And it was definitely opposite in this game. It felt like we stole a game. It really felt like we stole a game the last batter of the game.
Yeah.
So going into the 9th inning, obviously up 2-1. And I forget how they got the first guy on base. They got the guy to third somehow. I don't remember. But
no, he was on first, I thought.
There's 2 guys on or 1? Hang on. Why am I blanking? I'm just thinking about the last game now.
Just one guy.
One guy on base.
Rodriguez was on base.
Yeah. So, I get a runner on. I believe Julio walked with 1 out. And so, setting up 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. Gerardo Perdomo at the plate. And he is absolutely battling against one of the best pitchers in baseball, Mason Miller. Mason Miller is a closer for the Padres. Is he still with the Padres? Man, yes. Yes. Mason Miller with the Padres. And Perdomo is battling. Like, he is... Like, if you guys don't know who Mason Miller is, he throws 102 miles an hour with an absolute nasty slider.
Can I read the pitch speeds throughout that entire thing? First one, ball, 100.3 miles an hour. Second one, strike, 101 miles an hour. Second one, strike, 100 miles an hour. Second one, ball, 101 miles an hour. Third one, slider, 88 miles an hour. Eighth one, foul ball, 100 miles an hour. Seventh one, foul ball, 100 miles an hour. That's a lot of 100 miles an hour.
That's 7 pitches, and 6 of them are 100 miles an hour. So, like, absolute gas. But Perdomo is fighting. He's battling the entire at-bat. And then it gets to a 3-2 count. And Mason Miller throws, like, I think he threw a couple fastballs striking him. I could not put him away. So he went to his slider, and it was definitely below the zone. And the umpire called it strike 3, and that ended the game. That was kind of a sucky way to win. Like, I'll tell you, a win's a win. Like, I'm not okay with it, but like he definitely missed a call. It was 2 inches lower than any other pitch.
I think it looked a lot lower than it was.
I think it's the other way around. I think it looked better than it actually was because it was his slide. Usually a slider moves a lot left or right. Mason Miller's slider moves almost straight down. It's a very, very good slider.
Yeah.
And also behind the plate, Will Smith is a very good framer of the ball.
Yes.
So, like, I can see where the umpire sees it because it looked like a pretty good pitch, but it was definitely down.
Yeah, it was definitely down. But I think if you put yourself in the ump's shoes, like you said, that thing probably crossed the corner of the plate, but then it just ended so far down. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
It could go both ways.
It could definitely go both ways, but it was a ball. It was a ball. But I'll take it. We moved on to the final in a very, very scary game with the Dominican. Holding the Dominican 1 run is crazy.
Yeah.
Like I said, probably the best lineup that has ever been assembled. For sure, the best lineup that has ever been assembled in a World Baseball Classic. Probably the best lineup that's ever been assembled, period. Like, let me read over their lineup here real quick. If my computer loads. Here we go. So the starting lineup for the Dominican Republic, leading off, Fernando Tatis Jr. In the 2-hole, Ketel Marte, Juan Soto, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Manny Machado, Junior Caminero, Julio Rodriguez, Austin Wells, O'Neal Cruz came off the bench and pitch hit, which is crazy, and then Gerardo Perdomo. An absolute star-studded team. So holding that team to 1 run is impressive, but on the other side, the bats were definitely a concern. And that carried over to the championship game. I was talking to Daryl earlier in the day that I think this is where we wake up. Like, I predicted a 7-4 game. I was like, this is where we have to wake up. Venezuela's pitching is good. It's not great. They'd struggled in the tournament. They've allowed a lot of runs in the tournament. And I was like, okay, this is where we get right and we get 7-8 runs and we win a championship game. That did not happen. We lost 3-2.
Yep.
We had a total of 3 hits in the game.
Yep.
Just an absolute disappointment. The entire, we had nothing going all night. We never, other than Harper's home run. So in the 8th inning, we were down 2-0. Harper hit a 2-run home run to tie it up, and that's the only life we had. We never got a guy to second base. That's how bad we had never threatened. There was nothing happening in this game. Like, it was so bad. You got anything to say about this one? I also want to first off get this out of the way. Congratulations, Venezuela. Like, you pitching, you guys executed very, very well. The pitches were executed very well. Just the way you navigated this incredible lineup is insane. But this has come back to the U.S. because it wasn't just this game. It was the entire tournament. With this lineup, you cannot have 2 hits in a championship game. It's unbelievable that this lineup was held down pretty much the entire tournament.
Yeah, I agree with that. Guys, first of all props to Venezuela. They earned this win. Yes. They did. They deserve it. But the USA should not have let them. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. USA hit, get a load of this number, 3 of 30. A batting average of 100. Not that Venezuela is much better. They went 194. But still, like you said, we never even threatened. Farthest we got was first base. And Obviously, first couple innings are off, or our pitching is really good. So we're like, all right, guys, all I got to do is get a couple runs. It's that simple. But we literally couldn't do anything. And I was interested by the move to sit.
Cal Raleigh?
No, not Raleigh. Henderson, yes. I was really interested by that. I don't know if you have any thoughts.
There was a lot of very, very interesting things in this game that DeRosa went with. That was definitely one of them. I get the Bregman one a little bit because it is a left-handed starter, so you play the matchup game. Like, I know Will Smith has played a little bit better this tournament. Bregman, Henderson has played a lot better this. Sorry, blah, blah. Yes, I'm losing my words. Henderson has played way better this tournament, but Bregman, it's you play the matchup. Bregman has struggled this tournament, but it's a lefty versus righty. You put a righty in there, and instead of a lefty, same-handed matchup. I get that one. The one that confused me more was probably the Will Smith starting 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
Will Smith, our catcher, started over Cal Raleigh the last 2 games, and in an offense where you are struggling to find runs. I understand Cal Raleigh was hitless for the tournament, which he only played half the games of everybody else because he was splitting time with Smith, like they were swapping off every game. But in a time where you are struggling to get runs, you feel like you need a guy that at any point can go yard. Like Will Smith can, but it has to be the right pitch. But Cal Raleigh at any point can lift one out of here. Yeah. And it was that type of game, the type of tournament where the U.S. needed a guy that can have that spark, that can have that moment. Yeah. You saw in the 8th inning Harper doing it. That was the only spark we have. Harper in one pitch, all of a sudden we're back in the game. We're tied at 2. And
yeah, and in an offense where they're living off of single home runs, you need someone that can get you a solo home run. Mm-hmm. And Cal Raleigh,
Raleigh.
Cal Relay.
It's Raleigh. The dumper.
Raleigh.
Just call him the dumper.
Raleigh. Why am I having a hard time saying that?
Raleigh. There you go. You got it.
Makes it as Cal Raleigh.
Raleigh.
I'm not, guys, I have a speech impediment. Cal Relay. He can do that. He can hit a solo home run much more than I think Will Smith can, like you just said. And it was just so weird. We were missing the spark. Our pitching was perfectly fine. But a moment for Venezuela's starting pitcher. He, they showed his stats before the game and we're like, all right, yeah, no problem. We're going to hit like 4 home runs off this guy. He had a 5 ERA in the past, 4 years in the MLB, and he pitches a shutout. And he is so good. So good. Yeah. Rodriguez, yeah.
Yep.
4.1 innings pitched. Only 4 strikeouts, but out after out after out after out. Mm-hmm. He probably didn't see more than 3 guys an inning. I don't think he did. But yeah, so impressive for him. Just looking at Venezuela as a whole, very well done. One of the best teams that Venezuela's ever put together, obviously. Mm-hmm. But man, yeah, USA, what happened? Yeah. And where do you go from here?
I think the more glaring thing, too, is, yes, Rodriguez, the pitch staff, had a great game. But when you look at the numbers, and we had 6 total guys on base. We had 3 hits, 3 walks. There is nothing. There is times where you're like, hey, you're hitting the ball hard. You feel like you're taking good at bats, and it's just not working out. It's just not working out. You're getting unlucky. This was not that game at all. There was, before the Harper at bat, I remember 1 ball that was hit hard. Yeah. 1. And usually, you still have balls hit. There was nothing. Nothing was going. I don't know if I can explain how, bad this was of just, again, Venezuela, congratulations. You guys played incredible. You have an incredible team. You absolutely deserve this classic title. But with the U.S., with that lineup, with Aaron Judge being one of the most unclutch players I have ever seen in my life, it was I think 2 for 11 or 1 for 11 in the after pool play with 7 strikeouts, and you could tell the entire night Judge was very, very timid. He struck out 3 times. Yeah. He let a lot of pitches go that were down the middle, that were very, very hittable. Yeah. It looked like he was scared and was looking for a walk. It looked like a guy that didn't want to mess up. Yeah. And if you do that in baseball, you will be the guy that messes up.
He was definitely looking for a walk. And the one that was most glaringly obvious was right after the huge momentum swing. We have a 2-run home run. We have so much momentum, and then it's 3-1 count. Judge is at the plate. He watches 2 meatballs just go right past him. Literally.
I remember that at bat. He got a hanging slider, which he nails, and a backdoor sinker that caught a lot of the plate. And both of them he just watched go by. Yeah. Way too timid. Not that aggressor that you have to be. again, this is another Judge. Coming into this tournament, Judge has had the reputation of he is not a guy that is good in the clutch. Like in the playoffs, when the going gets tough, he is not very good. And I thought coming into this tournament, this is a time that he is not quite. I mean, it is pressure packed, but it's not carrying the. Yeah. It's not as much as like a World Series or a huge moment. That was like, okay, this is a time where Judge can show who he truly is and come through in a big spot. And he dug his hole way, way deeper in this tournament.
Yeah, no, just not a great look for Judge or America in the first place. No. And, obviously there's a lot of blame for the players themselves. There's also been blame on the manager.
DeRosa, a lot of it.
What do you think about that?
It's hard to say because you can't... It was a whole team thing. Like, the team's got to be better. But the decisions of going with... Again, I don't hate the Brigham one, but I think the Raleigh one was more glaring. Going with Raleigh. And also, we didn't talk about this one, not bringing in Mason Miller on top of the ninth. So top of the ninth, he brings in Garrett Whitlock, who has been pitching very, very well in this tournament. But Mason Miller is like probably the best relief, probably the best closer in baseball right now. He's incredible.
Right.
And bringing in Garrett Whitlock because the game's tied, they don't have the lead. And that decision as well was very, very confusing. And even the answer he gave after the game, he said he's not going to bring Mason Miller into a tie game. He's only going to bring him in if we have the lead. So I guess we're just not going to bring Mason Miller in because if we have the lead after the ninth inning, we win. Yeah. Like, you're not going to have that scenario. Don't you want to win with your best arms? And he was saying he was trying to honor the Padres. It's a little bit of a soft answer of if he's going to go, throw him... Because most of the time what they do is they give him a pitch limit and not a scenario. Right, yeah. Sometimes they will. But be like, hey, if you're in the ninth inning and it's tied, he can't go longer than 15 pitches. Okay, fine, cool. We won't go longer than 15 pitches then. But, yeah, that confusing. And then Whitlock goes in there, allows first batter. Again, this is on USA because like you cannot allow walks in this scenario. No. And first batter of the ninth inning was a walk, a freebie, and then... they stole second. And again, another thing that maybe Kyle Riley could have prevented is on the steal, Will Smith kind of short hop Terang at second. A better throw definitely would have had him. You can't say that Riley 100% makes that play, but he is probably I don't know if probably has the better arm.
Sure.
And who knows, maybe throws out that runner and we go to extras. But yeah, steals that bag. And then Eugenio Suarez on a 3-2 count hits a double in the gap, and Venezuela scores. It's just on USA in the ninth. But those decisions, interesting. And then also the whole him saying they thought they advanced in the quarterfinal before they played Italy. Like, he had said that, and then come back with like, oh, I just misspoke and this kind of things. It was just a lot of stuff that he could have definitely done better. That I don't know if he lost in the tournament, but he definitely didn't help his stock in it.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, do you want him back in 2030?
No, I want to go somebody else. He has now lost back-to-back World Baseball Classic championships, both 3-2.
With probably the best lineup he'll ever have.
With both teams not hitting very well at all. Because I don't know if we said this earlier, but this is the exact same score we lost to Japan 3 years ago. 3-2. And then that one we had 2 solo home runs. Like,
right.
Both just not really putting much together the entire night. Yeah. So,
not what you want to see.
Not what you want to see at all.
Well, with all being said, props to Bryce Harper for carrying the team, even though,
in one game, he had a bad tournament.
2 for 4, 2 RBIs, obviously. Big home run there. Mm-hmm. But we lost. Venezuela is sad. The world.
This was really, this kind of hit me a little bit because all my teams I've thought about this last night. I have not had a team win a championship since 2011. I would have been 9 years old. Mm-hmm. And USA did it in 2017, but I just want to feel that feeling again. The last two times this tournament's going around, I have my heart broken, and I just want to celebrate a championship because it's been so long since I'm able to. But it's okay.
It's our own sport too.
I know it's our own sport. How do you go win hockey?
Right. Yeah.
And then we lose baseball.
I saw Canada fans on Twitter being like, "How's it feel?" I'm like, I don't know. Let's ask you. How does it feel to lose hockey to...
At least Venezuela is good, yeah.
Yeah, Venezuela at least is good at
sport.
It's okay.
Oh, well. It's okay. I did say that I do like this Venezuela team. I like a lot of players. I like Arise. I don't mind Suarez. I like Acuna. If we weren't going to win it, this is one of the teams that I wouldn't mind winning it. Salvi getting one in his last one is good to see. I love Salvador Perez.
Better Venezuela than Japan or Dominican.
Agreed. Out of the teams that were there, other than us, they were definitely a team that I didn't mind. Congratulations to them winning their first one.
Yeah.
But what a classic. That was so fun. I love this tournament.
Yeah, that was really good. I was talking to a couple of my coworkers, like, I've never been more excited for opening day.
Yeah, right? Hopefully this brings you around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
I have to watch baseball because we're on a podcast now, but this even more just accelerated.
Yeah, it gets you excited for opening day, which is really fun.
Yeah. It's going to be fun to watch all these guys.
I'm the type of guy that celebrates opening day. Like, it's a holiday for me.
That's good.
Guys.
Yeah. What is it, next Monday?
Next
Friday?
Thursday. It's like everybody. Next Wednesday is like there's one game.
Yeah,
Giants, Yankees, and then next Thursday is like everybody.
Yankees, what are we doing?
Yeah. They always do that. Luckily, what I do like about this year is they don't have their Tokyo or Korea series that they usually do. I hated that.
That's always like way early.
Yeah, it's always way early. I always hated that. So actually having the season start pretty much in one weekend is really cool.
It should be Dodgers versus Astros. No, I mean Dodgers versus Mets.
Mets?
Yes.
Why the Mets?
Because they have, what's his name? Juan Soto.
That'd be cool. That'd be fun.
Or the Orioles. Pete Alonso.
Right,
Shout out Pete.
Are you ready?
Are you serious?
Are you ready, Ben?
Guys,
finally the number one.
Is
this the first time that basketball has been our number one?
Yeah, I think so.
It deserves it.
Maybe like when Nico got fired or something.
I don't think we ever had
that was the
number
worst
one.
thing.
I don't think we ever had number one.
Shout out basketball.
Ben,
guys,
basketball is number one on our podcast for the first time ever.
Are you going to be able to help me at all, or am I going to?
I can talk about the tournament, definitely.
Yeah,
but do your thing, man. I'm going to let you run with it and let you do your thing.
Oh, boy. Okay, tell me, what was the date of our last podcast? Was it the 12th or the...
last Tuesday, whatever last Tuesday was.
Oh, wow, has it been that long?
Yeah,
March
it has.
10th.
March 10th.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me just make sure that I didn't miss any big, important games. Well, that's NBA. We can talk about that after... Let's get back...
Let's get NBA out of the way, because that doesn't matter.
Yeah, we can do that. All right, so some quick NBA tidbits. The same night that we recorded... I'm sure everyone's heard about it now, but Bam Adebayo went off for 83 for flipping points. Insane.
Watch it.
Insane. I texted the group chat at halftime. I'm like, Bam Adebayo has 48 points at halftime. What's going on? And then I was like, Bam Adebayo has 60 points in the third quarter. And then I was like, Bam Adebayo is about to break Kobe Bryant's record. And then he did. He had 83 points. And there are a lot of people out there who did not watch the game at all and are like, oh, he shot 40-something free throws. It's not fair. It's not the same.
I'm one of those people.
Right. And I get what you're coming from.
Yeah, explain to me why that doesn't matter to you.
So, first, I'll just say this. You score 83 points. That's my first thing. All right, exactly. So, I will say up until the last 5 minutes of that ball game, until he had about 75 points, it was legit. He was getting fouled all the time. He was getting triple teamed and fouled the entire first and second half. That was legit. He was just getting hacked. It was Hack-a-Shaq 2.0 because the Wizards couldn't guard him. So that was legit. The Heat were down their top two scorers, besides Bam, obviously, and they were down 3 total starters. So obviously, Bam's going to get the ball a lot. So that's legit. But then at the 5-minute mark in the fourth quarter, roughly, the Heat players start intentionally fouling the Wizards players to stop the clock, get them to shoot free throws, and then get the ball back so Bam can score more. I don't like that.
I think that's a question that I would have more than the fouling thing is, do you like... They were clearly chasing it in the second half.
Yes.
Like, clearly everyone...
I would say fourth quarter. Just fourth quarter.
Yeah, probably fourth quarter mainly. But everyone on the court, for sure the Heat players and the coach was like, they are getting the ball to Bam, and Bam is taking this, and he is shooting this ball. Like, that was the only goal they had in mind. How do you feel about that? Clearly they were chasing the record.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with it because they're already up 20 or so. They're obviously playing a very bad team. If Bam Adebayo has 48 points in the first half, then go for it. Why wouldn't you? This only happens once a year for someone when they score 70+ points. So why not? Go for it. Like, seriously, shoot for the stars. I don't like that he was chucking up that many shots. He shot probably 40-something% compared to Kobe's 50-something when he scored 81. But in my opinion, it's just like if you're already that high of a scoring, just go for it. You're obviously playing an inferior team. I don't see a problem with it. Okay. That's my opinion. And then obviously Bam Adebayo was trying to tell his teammates, no, stop fouling. Didn't work, but either way, he scored 83 points. Second all time. Behind Wilt's supposed 100-point game. I'm a conspiracy theorist.
For sure for basketball.
But no, either way, scoring 83 points is insane, unheard of, unreal. Props to Bam Adebayo. Now, Bam Adebayo is the highest scoring current basketball player in the NBA, and his fiance A'ja Wilson is the highest scoring active player in the WNBA. That's pretty cool.
That's really cool.
Love that. But yeah, that's all I have for Bam. I think it's insane and awesome. He got Player of the Week, so that's good.
Obviously.
Right. Anything else about that situation? I don't think so.
Any other NBA news you want to talk about before?
Yeah, I have a couple notes here. So recently, Giannis Antetokounmpo and Anthony Edwards both have been ruled out 1 to 2 weeks with knee issues. Giannis is just re-injuring his previous injury. So don't like to see that. Those guys are both all-star caliber players going out before playoffs. But that's okay. Get them healthy before playoffs. And then next week, the NBA is officially holding a vote with the board of directors for expansion teams. I think this is so good. Finally, they're doing this. One would go to Vegas, and one would go to Seattle, which have been long time wanting Seattle Supersonics back. So that's going to be great. A little tidbit for that. There will be a expansion draft if that happens. Each team would be able to protect 8 players, but only 8 players. No more. They could protect less if you want to, if you don't want certain players. But that will be a thing. They'll be able to take whoever they want. So that'd be cool. Another thing, Steph is out for another week with this soreness in his thigh. I think he's done for the year. I don't think he's going to play another game. They're not going to make the playoffs, and if they do, it's a play-in spot, and they're just going to get destroyed by the Thunder or the Nuggets. I don't think he'll be coming back. He's not going to get healthy for next year, and then try to make a run with healthy Porzingis, healthy Jimmy Butler. So that's probably what's going on there. And then Bucks tried to get Giannis to sit because of his injury for the rest of the year. And Giannis is like, no, dude. No,
I love that.
No.
I love that.
Let me play basketball. And yes, I'm with you. I love it. So much drama that happened over the trade deadline. And finally, he's like, no, I'm going to play basketball. So I like that from him. And that's all I have for the NBA.
All right, Ben. What do you got next? What's next? Are there any other basketball talking about?
No, I don't really think so. We could probably go to the worst thing.
Yeah, probably.
Just kidding. All right, guys. It is finally that time of
March.
year. It's March, and it's madness. The conference tournaments have been over. They were over on Sunday afternoon. Some great games in there. Just real quick, some of the winners. Arkansas won the SEC tournament championship. I need to pull up my thingamajig.
Just while you're looking for that, how do you feel about Florida losing to Vandy scare you at all?
No, it doesn't.
I think that's a lie.
I think the only reason it would scare me is because they matched up with us in our bracket. That's scary.
Yeah.
But that game itself did not scare me. They know what they did wrong. We got exposed a certain way, and they're not going to make that mistake again. And it didn't matter. It didn't affect our seed. So I'm not worried about that at all. But real quick, the tournaments, like I said, Arkansas beat Oklahoma. Houston won the Big 12 tournament over Kansas. Duke won the ACC tournament, obviously. And am I reading that right? No, I'm not. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. Let me
22?
Scratch that. Going back, Arkansas beat Vanderbilt.
Yes.
Purdue beat Michigan in the Big 10 tournament. And St. John's won the Big East tournament in dominant fashion, and Arizona won the Big 12 tournament. So those are some of the notable ones.
Who won the ACC? Duke?
ACC was Duke. Yeah, Duke beat Virginia.
Okay.
Which is impressive. It was without their starting point guard. We're still waiting on results from the starting point guard. He might miss most of the tournament. That would be tragic.
Yeah.
And then the bracket got released, and ladies and gentlemen, it was glorious. Lots of things that I don't agree with, lots of things I do agree with. Do you have any initial reactions to the bracket?
I don't know enough about teams who should be in, who should be out.
Yeah.
In this reaction, I love that Miami, Ohio at least gets a chance.
Yep.
I love the first four, which is tonight, which I'm so excited. I don't know if I'll stay up that late and watch it because I've been tired at work. But I'm sure, Ben, you'll stay up and watch that whole game.
No.
No? Wow, really?
Because SMU is going to beat Miami of Ohio by probably 20 points.
Whichever winner that is going to be interesting.
Yes.
I think they have both those teams have a chance against Tennessee. But other than that, I don't know, like I said, enough about who should be in, who should be out. I do think they got the Auburn one right. Yes. And that Auburn was did they even have a winning record?
Barely
had a winning record. And there was a lot of people lobbying to get Auburn in. You barely have a winning record. You should not be in this tournament. No. You have all season to win some games, and there's just basically schedule. But you got to win your games to get in.
I don't care how many.
A lot of guys that went, a lot of teams that were in, I did agree with.
Okay.
How about yourself?
Yes, I agree. I think they got the teams that are supposed to be in are in, and I think that's great. I think that's good.
The seeding was.
Yes. Seeding was a little interesting. On Auburn, I don't care how many quality wins you have. Yes. If you have 18 losses or something like that, you should not be in, which they did not. Okay. Some of the seedings that were interesting, I think that St. John's is criminally underseeded. They're at a 5 seed. I think they're much better than that. Teams like UCLA, their record isn't great because they've been injured a lot of the year. UCLA is very good. Obviously, there's a lot of conversation between UConn and Florida being switched. Florida being number 1, UConn being number 2. Who was it? Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt was at a 5 seed. They could have very well been a 2 seed. I'm not even joking. They have very good wins. Nebraska at 4. They could be under or overseeded depending on how you want to look at it. Texas A&M at 10 I thought was interesting, but they do have some bad losses. Arkansas at 4. I personally think that they're overseeded. They don't have that many good wins. Arkansas should be a little lower. I would be fine with switching Arkansas and St. John's. Who else? Gonzaga at 3. You know I'm a Gonzaga hater. I know, but they do have one of the best records in the league, so you got to give them that. Is Miami at 7. Miami at 7 is interesting. Obviously, they finished the year ranked like 22, I think. I think they could have definitely gotten put higher, but that's okay. And then Georgia at 8. Personally, I think they should be lower. That's just personally, though.
Their matchup is very interesting.
Very, very interesting. We'll go over that later. And then you said that you don't like Tennessee. I actually do like Tennessee. Okay. Their record is not that great, but their wins are great. Mm-hmm. I think that they are going to be a very underrated team this year. I have them going to my Elite 8 in several brackets. So I do like Tennessee. I think that they will beat no matter who wins this game tonight. I'm getting so many notifications. But I do think they're underrated. Yeah.
I have a question for you. I think there's always one team that gets, I don't know, bet a lot, or there's always a sneaky team that you feel like you need to take the Elite 8, if not Final 4. Is there one team that is very, very sneaky that's not seeded very high you think could get to the Final 4?
Yeah, see, that's an interesting...
Like, I'm not saying, like, good chance. I'm saying possibility.
Yeah, I think
that is possible.
There is a lot of teams that have the possibility. I would say it's probably not going to be one of those Cinderella teams that we've seen. There's just, in my opinion, there's none of those it guys this year. There is a guy on High Point that might be able to do something, but...
I'm talking even like, I don't know, like UCLA, like
yeah, absolutely.
Louisville, like an Iowa, like out of those teams, who do you think out of those like teams that are seeded, I don't know, 4, let's go 5 through 9. Who's one of those teams that are like you think have an outside shot of making it to the Final 4?
I'll go 1 for each seed. How about that?
I like that.
Between 4 and above, who cares? Those are going to make it. 5 seed, I really like St. John's.
I'll say St. John's is the obvious one.
St. John's is the obvious one. They could be a 3 seed. They are brutal and gruesome. I think they could easily make it past Kansas and Duke, which is, call me crazy. For the 6th line...
That just Tennessee, like you said earlier?
Yeah, Tennessee or BYU, but probably Tennessee. Okay. They are healthy and they're good.
Explain to me the BYU. I know they have one good player. They haven't looked great all year.
Well,
but they're in a tough conference. I get that.
Yes.
But
they looked really good the first part of the year, and then their second best player got hurt. So that's why these last couple games they've been on a skid. Obviously, they have one of the best players in the nation in AJ DeBonsta, or whatever his name is. But without their second best player, his name is escaping me. I'm very sorry. That's why they're at that 6th line, and they might not be doing very well. But I don't think they're going to lose to that first round matchup, Texas. I don't think they'll lose to them. But BYU, they'll be all right. So I would say Tennessee at the 6th line. For the 7th seed, I'll just tell you this. Not Kentucky.
Yes.
But I don't like St. Mary's that much. I really like UCLA and Miami. I would say of those two, Miami is probably bigger and more athletic. But UCLA hasn't been healthy all year, and now they are. So they have a very good chance as well. I have both of those 7 seeds going pretty far in my bracket, so I'm high on both of those teams. For the 8 seed, I like Ohio State. Honestly, I cannot stand them in every other sport, but in this situation, I like it. I think their matchup versus TCU is very unfortunate because TCU is also more of an underrated team. And then obviously the winner of that has to play Duke. So it sucks for them. They got a very unfortunate situation, but Ohio State is very good. I'm not very high on Villanova. I'm not very high on Georgia, and I'm not very high on Clemson. For the matter of the fact that they're just going to play the number 1 seed and they'll probably lose. I think Clemson and Ohio State probably have the best chance of beating their next 1 seed. And then for a 9 seed, an interesting game is St. Louis versus Georgia.
Yes.
St. Louis has been a hot team all year. I'm really not sure how they're going to match up against Georgia because they're such a big and physical team that when you play a mid-major like St. Louis isn't even that much of a mid-major. They're still a pretty big school and pretty good team. But watching some of the teams that St. Louis has struggled against makes me very nervous about this game against Georgia. They're a very fast and good shooting team in Georgia. I don't really like that matchup for them. I think it's a very unfortunate matchup. There is a lot of people that have them winning that game. I would not choose St. Louis over Georgia, but that's my personal opinion.
Is there any of those 8-9 matchups you think would have a chance to knock off a 1 seed in the second round?
It's going to be so tough. It is. And that's why it sucks to be that 8 and 9 seed is because you're probably a good team and you can make a run, but if you wouldn't hit that 1 seed. I don't think Michigan is going to struggle with either of Georgia or St. Louis, let alone anyone. Arizona, Villanova, and Utah State are not good matchups for them. Arizona's probably going to roll. Duke, I think Duke and Florida would have the most issue with the 8 and 9. Probably mostly Florida, but then Florida's size is so big. If Clemson wins, they're down their starting center. And if Iowa wins, they don't have a lot of height. So it's going to be tough. But I would say Ohio State TCU probably has a good chance.
That was my biggest one. I think that the best 8-9 matchup is the Ohio State TCU.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
But then they have to play Duke.
Yes.
That's the caveat. If they were playing, I would even see a Michigan, they've had a couple injuries lately, right, with Michigan.
They're more healthy now.
They're healthier now, but I always took injuries even right before the tournament going into. It's different. It changes your team. You got to get back in a rhythm. So I would think if they may be playing in Michigan, they have a really good chance, or even Florida maybe. But having to go against Duke in that second round is very, very tough.
Yeah, Ohio State or TCU versus Florida would be interesting. Obviously, TCU has already beat Florida this year, but like I said, but also Duke is down their starting point guard. Yeah. So if Duke goes up against Ohio State and their guards can cause havoc in their point guard, that could easily be an upset. Yep. So I'm so curious how that game's going to go. The Ohio State TCU and Clemson Iowa game is literally a coin flip.
Yeah,
we have no idea who's going to win those games.
Yep. Another question, maybe last question I have for you here. There's always seems to be either a 5-12 or a 6-11 upset. Who are those teams you're looking at for those upsets? What are the matchups? A 5-12, a 6 or 11? You give me however many. Which ones would you be looking at for those upsets?
Yeah, this is an interesting year for this. A lot of people are high on Akron. Akron is a 5 seed versus Texas Tech. That is very positive. That is very popular one. Yes, popular. Texas Tech is down JT Toppin, but they're still so good. And they are very active on the 3-point defense in general. Akron is good. They are very good. They won the Sun Belt. What is it? I think Sun Belt. I'm just so hesitant because Texas Tech is still beating these top tier teams without JT Toppin. Another popular one, you said 6 and 11, right?
6-11, 5-12, either one.
Yeah. North Carolina, VCU. I picked VCU. I know that
both of those ones you just mentioned, I had both those as an upset.
And I think there's a reason for that because obviously there's a lot of worry with injuries. Caleb Wilson. Oh, I never remember his name. Caleb Wilson, right? Yeah, Wilson. He's hurt, but obviously North Carolina's been playing pretty good without him. I think VCU is a very good team though. I think VCU has what it takes. That's one I really like. My computer keeps dying. And then in the upper bracket, South Florida is going to beat Louisville. I'm calling it now.
You think so?
South Florida will beat Louisville and potentially even the next round versus Michigan State or North Dakota. USF is very good. Very athletic, shoot a lot of threes. One of the best offenses in the nation. and Louisville does not have a great defense, and their starting point guard is out for the remainder of the season. I think Louisville is going to struggle a lot versus UCF, or USF. So USF is going to win that. I'm pretty confident in that. Okay. So that's 1-11 seed. And then Northern Iowa has no chance for St. John's.
Yeah.
And then there's also people that are interested in High Point versus Wisconsin. That's a 12 versus 5. I'm not seeing that one. I'm not seeing it. They would have to shoot 65% from 3 to win that game.
Yeah. Another couple matchups that I look at that I would love if this matchup would be flipped because I think they could both. I may not both be upsets, but I think you get one out of this. The 5-12 Vanderbilt McNeese, I think, and also the 4-13 Nebraska Troy. I think if Nebraska was playing McNeese, that would be a scary matchup for Nebraska. With them drawing Troy, I think it's a great job for them. And then also think Vanderbilt playing McNeese. I think Vanderbilt is good enough this year. I think they're big enough this year that they will take down McNeese. I would love to see Nebraska play McNeese because that's one that I could very well see. I was wishing I would get, but I don't think
that's a really interesting. I haven't even thought of that. But that is very true.
Because it's Nebraska's first time in the tournament, correct?
Yeah.
And
it'd be their first win.
Win. And so there's a lot of pressure on your first win. Yeah. And drawing a scrappy team like McNeese could be interesting. Yeah. But they get Troy, so I think they'll pull that one out.
I think Troy is a more skilled team. I just think what you're saying about scrappy is definitely has a play. There are people that are picking Troy. I don't think that's going to happen. Nebraska is long and athletic.
Yeah.
But dude, there are so many good games. And I won't run down through the bracket, but some of these matchups.
If you want to, guys, just saying real quick, if you guys want to see our bracket, see what we think is going to happen, get into our bracket pool. You have, when this releases, probably about 12 hours. Right around 12 hours, probably more like 14. To get into our bracket pool, you have one entry left. No more 2 entries, just 1. But get in there. We're not going to really talk about our brackets. We might talk about them once it's over, but we're not really going to preview them. If you want to see our brackets, get into our bracket pool and see them there.
First game starts tomorrow at 12:15.
Tomorrow at 12:15.
Yes.
We're here. We made it.
So many games. Okay, yes. But just a quick, some crazy matchups down the road, like in the Elite 8 or Sweet 16. Duke could play St. John's. That'd be amazing. Such a great game. We could get Michigan State versus UConn. That'd be nuts. Obviously, those two coaches have some serious history together. We could get another Florida versus Vanderbilt rematch in the Sweet 16. That'd be crazy. We could get Florida versus Houston at National Championship rematch in the final or Elite 8. That'd be insane. Michigan versus Alabama. There might be 400 points in that game. That'd be awesome. Some more games. Oh, man, there's just so many good situations. Like Arizona versus Purdue in the Elite 8 Elite 8. It's guys, there are so many good game opportunities that last year I felt a little more confident in getting a perfect bracket. Obviously, never going to happen. But this year I am just
there's a lot of variety this year.
So many
I think what's really interesting this year is, like we said last couple of years, there's definitely one champion. It's definitely a smaller pool of champions than it used to be. Because I've said a couple times, and I do believe this whole my heart, that either a 1 or 2 seed will win this tournament. I think the 1 and 2 seeds will win better. I think it'll be Houston, Iowa State, Florida, Michigan, or who's the other 2 seeds? UConn, Purdue, Duke, or Arizona. I think out of those teams, a 1 or 2 seed, I think those will end up winning. But there is a lot of variety in this tournament. I feel there's a lot that can be different. I think any of those teams can lose. I think any of those teams can lose early 100%. On, but I think one of those teams will prevail and win it.
Yeah.
So there's it's still a little bit smaller pool feels like it used to, but it's definitely wider than the last couple of years.
Yeah, 100%. Outside of the top 8 teams, like you said, so much could happen. We have no idea. They're all so equal.
And anybody, I think that's what's different about this year is it feels like anybody can lose.
And I love it.
It's amazing.
It's chaos. It's madness.
It is madness. Oh, it's almost like it's March Madness.
Oh my.
Wow. I don't know how I came up with that. That's crazy. Yeah. That was wild.
Anyway,
guys, I'm excited for this one.
Last night, there were some incredible first games. The first 4 games, obviously, UMBC versus Howard and Texas versus NC State. Both came down to last-second shots, basically. Howard won by 3, and Texas won on a last-second shot by 2. Tonight, right now, Prairie View versus Lehigh and Miami of Ohio versus SMU. The winners would obviously go on to play their respective teams. And then tomorrow, the first round officially starts, kicking off with the most impossible matchup to choose. And I still don't know who I'm going to pick.
First game.
TCU versus Ohio State.
I don't know who I'm going to pick. I can't do it. I can't pick them.
It's insane.
I can't pick them.
Literally, just close your eyes and point.
Wow. I can't pick a certain team. So, like...
Which is a good pick. That's fine.
Yeah, I like TCU in this one.
I like Ohio State, unfortunately. I like their guards.
Yeah.
But, yes, guys, some great games tomorrow. I wish they'd give us, like, some of the 1 seeds first so we can have a perfect bracket for a while.
At least for a little bit. But they always give us an 8-9 right away. But what's nice is if you win one of those, and the next couple are usually, like, a bigger spread, and you're like... Yeah. I'm rolling, bro.
If you win the first,
I'm rolling.
If you get the first 8-9 seed and like half of your pool doesn't, then you're doing good.
Yeah, exactly.
But then the next game right after that is Troy versus Nebraska, and if Troy can beat Nebraska, that'd be a bracket buster right away.
Right away. That'd be
so fun.
That'd be insane.
Yeah, but some bangers tomorrow.
Yep.
Guys, make sure that you're not doing too much the next couple work days. You don't want to be distracted at work because I am going to advise you to watch basketball at work.
Yes, this is the only time you're allowed to watch sports at work.
Do it responsibly. Don't do it while driving. Well,
I'm gonna do some while driving. So what's nice is get an assistant that can like put it on his phone. Listen to it while he watches, and he can keep you updated.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be on my computer the entire day. So.
It will be somewhere on my phone computer the entire day. It has to be.
All right.
Thank you, YouTube TV for the quad box.
Oh.
Is this the first time we're ever really gonna experience March Madness in the quad box?
Yeah.
I think it's the first time I don't know. I am.
I didn't have YouTube TV last year, so
I don't think I did either. First time ever gonna experience March Madness in the quad box.
Although I don't have it on my work computer, so that sucks.
We'll get it.
It's my brother's login.
It's a quad box. You gotta have a quad box.
I'll see what I can do.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, let me just see if there's anything else I want to read over.
Not a whole lot, man.
I pretty much covered most of what I was talking about.
Yeah. I think we covered the tournament really well.
Tournament. I think so.
Right.
Who? I didn't really ask you. Like, who's your sleeper to make the Elite Eight or Final Four?
See, you kind of caught me because my sleeper was Louisville, but now you saying USF is like.
Yeah, I
don't like that.
I would advise you not to do that.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that anymore. I think a team that is a sleeper that could be fun in the Final Four is Gonzaga. I know you don't like Gonzaga, but it's like for years people talk about how good Gonzaga was for years, and now that like. Nobody's really looking at Gonzaga. Like, they're kind of just a team that's been there for a while.
Yeah.
And that's when teams rise up and win games. Like, when you're not looking at them, they come out of nowhere and sleeper. I get they're a 3 seed, so they're still a high seed. But that's a team that I could definitely see making a deep run because, again, they're back at a 3 seed. They're good again.
Yeah.
And, again, I don't think anybody outside the top 8 are going to win it. Yeah. So to actually find one of those teams to make it is tough. Obviously, the obvious one is St. John's. We talked about that one before. Mm-hmm. Is there another team that a little bit lower down that I would like?
Yeah, Gonzaga is interesting because they have so much skill, but they haven't been able to beat some of those teams. I'm just so nervous.
Yeah,
but prove me wrong.
Yeah,
prove me.
I'm definitely gonna have Gonzaga go in the Final Four in my bracket. So I'll just put it that way.
Love it.
So, not Kansas. They're not gonna.
No, I can't. I don't trust Kansas. No. They'll lose to Duke or St. John's.
Yep, something like that. Anything else you want to talk about before we move on? Before we actually get to start watching games?
I don't think so.
All right, we're gonna move on.
So yeah, let's do it.
Moving on to our worst thing of the week.
Worst thing.
Unfortunately, this one won't take very long, but just Austin Matthews has a grade 3 MCL tear. This star for the Toronto Maple Leafs, our captain for the U.S. in the Olympics, is done for the year. He collided with Ducks defenseman Radko Gudas, and he is done for the year. Tough look for the Leafs. They have been struggling after the Olympic break, and to see this will pretty much end the Leafs season because he is one of the best players in hockey. And just an unfortunate thing to see for the Leafs and for Austin Matthews.
Yeah, it does suck. Obviously, they weren't one of the powerhouses, but they were still definitely making a run for the playoffs, and now it sucks to see your best man go down. Even though I do not like the Leafs at all, it does suck.
Yeah, it does.
It is unfortunate.
It sure does.
Yeah.
All right, I just want to you wrote down some NFL news here. I just want to run over it just really quickly as we're trying to get out of here. You pull up the Sam thing. You know what that one is?
Sure, yeah.
Before we our hot take. We're going over these, just some NFL news. We talked last week on the live pod, crazy reaction to the, I can't even think of his name right now. Max Crosby not signing with the Ravens, but they land right back on the feet to get the next best guy, maybe even a better guy. They get Trey Hendrickson on a 4-year, $120 million deal.
This was such a scummy move.
Yeah.
This is like, we'll just drop Max and pick up this guy for free.
Trey Hendrickson, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? So, interesting. The Commanders sign Rashid White. Sorry, Tampa guy, getting out of there. Vikings signed Kyler Murray. I'd love that for the Vikings. I think they could be very good next year. Bills signed C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Commanders signed Jerome Ford. Old veteran, I love that. Jets trade for Justin Fields. Justin Fields will most likely be the Chiefs' starting quarterback.
That sucks.
That might be good. I like Justin Fields better than Jalen Hurts. So,
whoa!
49ers signed Christian Kirk. That's another good receiver there in San Francisco. They're trying to retool.
Loading up.
I like it. Darius Slay retires. Very good Eagles corner for a while. Retires. Great career by him. Dolphins trade Waddle to Broncos for first, third, and fourth round picks. Waddle going to Denver could be another good weapon there for Bo Nix. I love seeing that. And Andy Dalton goes to the Eagles for a 2027 seventh round pick.
Starting quarterback next year? Question mark.
Possibly.
Because Jalen Hurts sucks apparently according to you.
I guess could be.
Jeez.
Could be.
What are you affiliated?
All right. So we actually had a fan send in a hot take. Finally,
our smallest fan, Sam Nolt. Hello,
smallest.
Sam.
Why is he your smallest?
Sam, leave a comment if you're a biggest fan.
You want to listen. But he sent it in, so
yep.
You guys need more of that. So Sam's hot take. What is it?
So Sam's hot take is this: the Bam Adebayo 83-point game was a planned scheme to get teams to stop tanking. Want to tank? Well, then a pretty good player is going to embarrass your team. Congrats.
2 minutes of warning starts in 3, 2, 1, go. Your rebuttal, sir.
Sam, this is absurd. I understand where you're coming from, but everything that you just said doesn't make any sense to me. And I understand if you think it makes sense. I can see the situation where it does, but it doesn't. It doesn't make sense. Bam is an all-star. Bam is he is an all-NBA team player. He is very good. You cannot say he is a pretty good player. He is the second best player on one of the best teams in the East. That's undeniable. Next thing, what do you mean, want to tank, want to embarrass your team? No one even remembers that it was the Wizards. They just remember Bam Adebayo's 83-point game. No one cares. That's all I'm going to say about that, with the want to tank thing. I just don't understand it. I don't understand what the motive would be behind planning an 83-point game. That's not even a thing. I don't understand. I don't understand it. Andrew, do you have any thoughts?
I kind of get it. On the other side, I kind of get it. It might have been a test trial. I think something you can definitely argue with Sam being correct here is the fouls. How the game went, the fouls, the getting him to the line, make sure he gets points. It might have been a one-time trial. Hey, what if this works? What if this gets teams to stop tanking? What if... Because it's at that time right now, too, where they are trying literally everything to stop these teams from tanking. They have shown they're willing to try anything. And to see if this is maybe, like I said, a trial to get, like Sam said, if you're going to tank, if you're going to stop playing basketball, we're going to embarrass you. Was this at home for this was at home for the Heat? It would embarrass his own court.
But what are they gonna do? They're just gonna all right, fine, we're gonna shut down this one player, but then the other guys are still gonna beat them. There's just it doesn't make any sense. You're gonna let one guy score 83 points, they win by 20. Who cares?
I'm not saying it was a good plan. I'm just saying it could have been a plan.
That's so stupid.
I don't know. And that is the 2-minute warning. Thank you so much, Sam, for that question. Guys, send them in. Even if they're conversation starters, we want more. It's harder than you think going with a hot take every single week. I run out of ideas. But we need more from you guys. But you guys have been great. Really, really appreciate everybody listening to this podcast. Ben, are you ready to watch the basketball this week?
Get into the bracket pool.
Guys, get in the bracket pool.
Guys, I forgot to mention the prize. If you didn't look on the Instagram, the prize for the number one place in the bracket pool, guys, the prize is going to be a signed autograph card of Jimmer Fredette's rookie card in the NBA. Mm-hmm. It's going to be great. It's already on the way. It's being delivered soon. Second place, I don't really have a second place. I guess you can have this shirt.
Ooh, I kind of be second place now.
Yeah.
Okay, we're giving away Ben's shirt as the second place prize.
Shout out Miami of Ohio. It's just a funny
third place
shirt.
gets his hat.
No.
Man.
I got to keep this. Okay. This is a gift from JJ.
Okay, maybe I have to take that.
Yeah, so, so get in the pool quickly. We only have 12 hours to go when you hear this. Hear this.
Guys, it's March Madness. It's time.
It's here.
It's incredible. It's here. Guys, thank you so much for listening. Watch a ton of basketball, and we'll talk to you next time.
Peace.